And that's where we start our opening drive, brought to you by Chevy.
This is not a good outcome for anybody, and there's blame to go around. This is 3 years now that the Bears have been at this, and, you know, there are hundreds of bills passed every session, and behind those bills are people or organizations or interest groups, and they've come up with a legislative strategy, usually with the help of lobbyists, and they get it done. And at the end of the day, the Bears didn't get it done. And they did employ some very seasoned lobbyists that know their way around Springfield. And as much as we hate or love the process, that is the reality. They got to figure out how to get their way around Springfield and get it done. And the Bears did not get it done. And now they're left with this kind of Frankenstein where we still don't know what the House is going to do. Cam Buckner came out with a statement this morning saying, well, we're open to it, but, you know, but TBD.
𝗪𝗛 on the Bears this morning on The Score. This is the Bears statement since that. We will finalize our evaluation of both Arlington Heights and Hammond and remain on the late spring, early summer timeline that we have previously communicated. We will provide an update when we have a decision to share. That brings us to our first down, the stadium update. And the update is what we have here is a failure to communicate and a failure to execute and a failure by everybody. There's enough blame to go around. You could look at Kevin Warren and say, you know what? His dalliance with the lakefront got in the way and distracted the project 2 years ago. That's why they are where they are. You could look at the Illinois legislatures and dysfunctional politics of the statewide down in Springfield and also in Chicago. You can look at Mayor Johnson, Brandon Johnson, taking credit this afternoon for getting in the way and his framework being the one that they ultimately came up with and offered the Bears to go to Arlington Heights, creating the stadium authority the way they do and have offered in Indiana. Bottom line, Clay, is that the Bears don't have an outcome, and there's no result with this. Time is money, and they're wasting both.
To me, this is like you're dating a girl. She said, I need more time. I'm not ready yet. And then there's this other girl. She's got dinner reservations. Like Indiana is speed dating. They got a ring in their pocket. They're ready to go. So my question here is, when Indiana is so ready and Illinois is taking all this time, are the Bears bluffing? Because to me, it seems like the Bears have some pretty good cards in their hand that if the Chicago's trying to call a bluff, guess what? We got pocket kings right here. We can move right over there to Indiana and build our stadium complex that already has the bills passed.
We'll find out. We'll find out if they're bluffing. We don't know because we have yet to hear from the Bears outside of these very sterile general statements. Kevin Warren and George McCaskey, according to 𝗪𝗛, were not in Springfield during the most significant weekend of the Bears in recent years. Besides what happens on the field, this was the most significant weekend off the field in some time. They were nowhere to be seen. And the presence and lack thereof was felt because if you're going to influence a situation and impact the outcome, you would think that you would want to be there if no other reason the optics would be better. But in this case, the optics were bad, the outcome was worse, and here we are. The day after the session ended and adjourned for the summer, not scheduled to meet again until November, because Chris Welch, the House Speaker, said he did not want to have a special session. The Bears have to make a decision. Their bluff has been called.
So what does this mean for Kevin Warren, who, for all intents and purposes, was brought here to get this stadium taken care of, to get this done? This was his number one job.
That's up to George McCaskey. That's up to the McCaskey family. That's up to the board. Kevin Warren was brought here for that primary purpose, and he has not come through. He flirted with the lakefront and staying in Chicago, which frankly got in the way and cost them hundreds of millions of dollars potentially. So we'll find out. What we don't know is how the Bears feel about all this and how internally they feel and will proceed. Stay tuned. Unfortunately, this saga will continue. Let's move on to second down. Blockbuster day in the NFL. Goodness sakes. The Rams go after Myles Garrett. They make a trade for the two-time Pro Bowl pass rusher. They give up Jared Verse. He's a two-time Pro Bowl pass rusher. Myles Garrett's a future Hall of Famer. Jared Verse, a first-round pick in 2027, a 2028 second-rounder, and a 2029 third-rounder to the Browns for the difference maker. And not to be outdone, the A.J. Brown Eagles drama finally came to a close. They make a deal with the Patriots. He goes to New England for a 2028 first-round pick and a 2027 fifth-rounder. Clay, the big story in football, Myles Garrett is a Ram. The Rams become the NFC favorite to be in the Super Bowl.
What am I doing right here, David? What am I
pushing
doing?
it all in.
I'm pushing the chips all in.
Yes.
That's what the Rams are doing. Matthew Stafford, my old teammate, my quarterback, they said, guess what? We drafted a quarterback in the first round. We're going to get you Myles Garrett, the guy who has the most sacks, 622 pressures, and 135 sacks since he came to the league. Number one of all edge rushers. This guy's a Hall of Famer. He was the Defensive Player of the Year last year, and they get him. Yes, they're giving up Jared Verse, who's a very solid pass rusher, 12 sacks. But for me, when you go out and get Trent McDuffie, one of the best cornerbacks in the league, Myles Garrett, the best edge rusher in the league, and you have the reigning MVP, the best quarterback in the league, that puts you in a pole position to win the Super Bowl.
Let's be honest here, though. The Browns, this is a good trade for the Browns.
Good trade for the Browns, where they're
because
at.
they get a young pass rusher and draft capital. But this is an even better trade for the Rams. It's one of those odd trades that benefit both teams because, you know what? The Rams can get over the top when they have somebody capable of making 20 sacks in a season. So you like their chances. They were one play away last year. This may be the close with the missing piece. Also, you look at now the Eagles and the Patriots. The Bears play the Patriots next year, and they also play the Eagles. What does this do to both teams? A.J. Brown added to the Patriot mix.
I think that's a vote of confidence in Drake May, saying he's ready now. If we go out there and get him a number one receiver, people don't realize how good A.J. Brown is. He's a number one. He's a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL, hands down, no doubt.
Kind of a diva, Clay. It's kind of a diva.
He wants to win. He's a passionate guy. Obviously, I follow Philadelphia Eagles, the team that drafted me. A.J. Brown is a player you want on your team. You'll follow that guy out to battle. And then for the Eagles, I think they prepared for this. You still got Devontae Smith. You brought in Dontavian Wicks. You got Mekhi Lemon, first-round draft pick. And then you also got Elijah Moore and Johnny Wilson. They got receivers. They got players for Jalen Hurts to throw the ball to. So I think they'll be just fine. Both these teams will be a problem when the Bears play them.
And when the Bears play them, they'll have somebody chasing Jalen Hurts and Drake May, and that man will be Austin Booker. Brings us to our third down. Ben Johnson last week on Austin Booker's trajectory.
He's another one that missed some time last year, and so I think the more time on task we have, coaching staff, how we're coaching things, I think it's just going to add up. He's still a young player. He's still developing. His body's changed since came in the building a year ago, from where we ended the season even until, when he came back in for the spring program. He continues to add more mass, stronger player. He gets smarter as we go, and I think the coaching is really going to be conducive to his style of play as well.
Clay, the Bears resume OTAs tomorrow, 3 days this week. You could say safely, there's not a more important player in terms of development on that defense than Austin Booker.
I'll say it completely. I think he is the big piece here, because if he can turn into a pass rusher, you're taking blocks away from Montez Sweat. You're taking blocks away from the guys inside. Obviously, defensive backs don't have to cover as long, so he's huge. You remember the preseason. I'm talking about preseason. I know it's crazy. He only played 1.5 games and he had 4 sacks, Austin Booker. Then he gets hurt. He goes out. But when he comes back in his last 4 games, including the playoffs, he has 3.5 sacks. So you saw him coming into his own, and early on, you saw what he could do when he was healthy. So I think him coming back 10 pounds heavier, they're saying 8 pounds of muscle, that matters. That's a big difference. You're stronger, you're faster. I think he is a guy that I would bet will make a big jump next year.
In your experience blocking rush ends and seeing guys work on their technique, as time goes on, what does that experience do? Do they get better every year because they get more technically sound, or can you improve that part of your game?
He played 18 total games in college at Kansas and Minnesota. 18, that's one NFL season. He is still improving. How old is Austin Booker?
24?
23. He's a 23-year-old kid. And when they talk about we got to coach better, we got to do the fundamentals better, are they talking about Dio? Dio ain't going to be out there until maybe game 1, game 2. Are they talking about Shamar Turner? He's not going to be out there until the season starts. They're talking about getting Austin Booker, who played 18 college games, was out for a big chunk of last year. This is a vote of confidence in him. The fact that you don't bring any high-priced free agents in, you don't draft an edge rusher, they're counting on him to have a big year. And if I'm a betting man, I bet he does.
Speaking of projections, our fourth down looks at Caleb Williams. ESPN.com had a projection for him taking a dip with the statistics this year. You look at that. Mike Florio says that Caleb Williams was establishing himself as one of the very top quarterbacks in the NFL, but ESPN's Mike Clay says the numbers could be down. Here's what we look at, are projected by Mike Clay and ESPN.com. That's a really gradual, slight decline in production, but Clay, I think this. That could be true, and he could still be a top 5 or 10 quarterback. The Bears could still have a better season. I think those numbers could reflect a smarter quarterback, maybe a safer quarterback. And I think sometimes when you look at numbers, we can overstate the significance of statistics if, in fact, as I said last week, the biggest number for Caleb Williams is 12. One more victory, and then go into the playoffs that much better.
Only dip Caleb Williams is taking next year is in the hot tub or the cold tub, in the pool. He's not taking a dip. And if he does, if his stats go down, what matters is his command. How is he doing in the red zone? How's he in the huddle? How's he changing the audibles, handling the line of scrimmage? That changes. And here's the thing, David, if the Bears aren't coming from behind 6 times, maybe you don't have to throw the ball down the stretch. Maybe his numbers will take a little back seat. If you run the ball better, if your defense plays better, you might not be throwing the ball late. You might be running the ball to close teams out. What matters to me is efficiency. Is he a more efficient quarterback? I don't care if he has 4,000 yards or if he has 3,500 yards. Are you efficient? Are you winning? Are you doing what you need to do to be in command of this football team?
That's why I think these projections can be a little bit misleading, because they look at 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. You'd take that.
Oh, yeah.
It also may be a decline in touchdowns, but you also, as you point out, might be playing with more comfortable leads.
Yeah.
And you might be better defensively. You might be better overall, special teams. So I wouldn't get caught up in the numbers that may not look like they're going to be as good as they were a year ago.
Yeah, absolutely.